Hello and welcome to another Blitzer System 1 video, and today I'm doing a review of the new Skovox Blitzer from the 3.75 inch wave or range. I think this is of a wave 3 figure. Now here's something that's really bothering me. On the packaging for a lot of the new figures, they say wave 3, and then when I go on Forbidden Planet they're saying wave 4, so it's rather confusing, but I'm still going to class it as wave 3. Anyway, aside from that, articulation wise, the action figure has decent articulation. Like each of the sort of like spider legs can go like that and kind of pivot down and up and that, and then sideways, so you could have it that way and have the sort of more pointy sort of edge at the top if you wanted to. And then it does a full 360 degrees spin at the waist, if I can just show you here. Like, it does a full 360 there, that way. So yeah, and then the gun arms go up and down a bit. So that goes up, and so can that one. Now they can't go full 360 degrees, the arms, which is unfortunate, and the cannons can't kind of like move or like a bit like, you know, to the sides or anything, which is a bit unfortunate really. But yeah, so articulation wise it's not brilliant, I guess, but also also keeps moving everywhere. Also the legs were in the packaging, they weren't on the Skovox Blitzers, so you may need if you're a younger child, you may need a parent or guardian to, responsible guardian or whomever, to assist you with maybe trying to put them in place. They're just in these little peg holes and stuff, and obviously they move around and stuff in quite a lot of dynamic poses, so you can definitely put the Skovox Blitzer in into a lot of cool poses and stuff, you know. Detail wise, it is phenomenal. Definitely probably up there with one of the better figures from the 3.75 inch range. I do agree with VoteSaxon07 that the 3.75 inch range is just better with the sort of humanoid, no, not the humanoid, but with the sort of like, you know, the, trying to get different camera angles on it, but the sort of alien-like creatures and stuff, they're much better at doing stuff like that. I think it's more because with sort of figures like with human-like characters, you can't pack that much sort of facial detail in such a small figure, whereas with the sort of alien-like creatures you can with their bodies, you know, because they might be detailed in their bodies and stuff, which this one is. You know, you've got these panels there with such lovely detailing there, and then you've got each leg with all these sort of different mechanical parts and segments and stuff. So, and overall it's just got this really cool weathered effect, like it's a bronze with a brown like wash over it. And then each of the cannons are accurately painted with the sort of blue cannon there, and then the sort of green like laser bolts there, and then even the paint apps on the eyes are correctly painted on, applicated even, because they're blue and that. So yeah, there's no head articulation because it can only go maybe a little bit side to side because there's this wire at the back and stuff, but no, there's just so much detail, you know, on the back with all these like indentations of lines and different segments and lines down the sort of stomach part where he'd have maybe a stomach but doesn't, you know, because it's machine, and then there's all these like pipes, like Hoover pipes, but weathered and stuff, and then on the bottom you've got the legal garbage. it's just a fantastic representation of the Skovox Blitzer from the Caretaker. Now, I had a little idea of maybe putting these legs like that, and then maybe that could be like flight mode or something and stuff, and then like you could fly around or something, you know, like that could be like a jet of sorts, and then it could be like or something. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, it's just an awesome representation of the Skovox Blitzer from the Caretaker episode. It was a good on-screen monster, and yeah, it's just a well designed and well articulated figure. I think it's well rounded because it can appeal to both you know, kids, because of its play features of just, you know, its articulated legs and its kind of awesomeness in detail, so it looks like what it's supposed to be. But then it's got that appeal to teens and sort of like adult collectors because it's got, you know, a lot of you know, posability in its legs, you know, and that, and then it's got loads of detail, so it'll look nice on the shelf alongside other sort of monsters and stuff. And I think it fits nicely in the range. I think it'll be a nice addition to the 3.75 inch range. Now, what would I give it out of 10? I'd give it a well-earned 9 out of 10. I do wish the sort of cannons could maybe move ball jointed, you know, so like, or the arm was ball jointed, so then you could move it like that and then be like pew, 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 you know, to the sides, just so it has some more sort of dynamic poses, you know, when it's doing stuff. But aside from that, I mean, the legs are really cool, and I think it only retails for about $6.99 from what I've seen on Forbidden Planet, so it's cheap, and it's, yeah, and it's not more expensive than any of the other figures. So yeah, I'd like to give, yeah, as I say, this figure a well-earned 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe. Oh, and one last thing, I do wish the head could move full 360, but I guess it's kind of being somewhat more accurate than being inaccurate and being more of a play, sort of like a toy for the littlies, I guess. But anyway, as I said, 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe.